am Abby. I am Top Knot Stitcher. This is Oscar Pepper on her, what she thinks is her cat bed. She's a little annoyed with me right now because I just moved her around, but we're going to see. We want to see your beautiful face. Hi, Nugget. Hi everybody. It's nice to see you again. I've missed you. I really enjoyed our last hangout. We got to look at this cutie and just chat away, and I liked that format a lot because it was very low effort on my end, but got to catch up with you all. So that will probably be a thing in the future. Kind of like a Stitch with me, but without the stitching. So cat with me. I think it could work. So we're going to try that again. She is really annoyed with me right now. Oh, sorry. She also thinks that she needs more dinner and I won't give her any more food because she's eaten enough. So she's just annoyed with me for a lot of reasons. But that's okay. We are coming at you today from the living room because where we used to film in my room has been turned into my sewing corner. So instead of a chair and a bookshelf, we have my desk with sewing machine and a whole bunch of craft organization that's still kind of in progress while I figure out what exactly I need and how accessible I need it to be. So that's been a fun project. I think we're almost there. It's like almost ready, but I am also buying a lot of fabric and stuff, so it's kind of under constant revision. Anyway, excuse me. Today we are going to be talking mostly about sewing and stitching, a little bit less of our typical chattiness, although knowing me, we'll still get very chatty. I'll still repeat myself a lot. Please feel free to just check out this cute cat and not really pay that much attention to me because, like, I don't blame you at all. She's such an annoying, adorable cat. Okay, I'm going to try to stick with my notes. So yeah, we're going to talk about sewing and cross stitch, and we're going to talk about a book, and we're going to talk about a really cool thrift store find. So let's get into it. I have one more thing to say. Today I'm trying to figure out like the best place to put my head that it will have the best lighting and not a glare. Today I got an email that I reached 1,000 subscribers, and I didn't think I cared about that, but it just made me feel so loved and happy and so grateful for each of you to share your stitching lives with me, whether that's through watching, commenting, making your own videos, hanging out on Instagram, all those things. Thank you so much for being here. I think you're great. I think, look at her eyes. Aren't her eyes pretty? Oh my goodness. She's so cute. I just think you all are great. So thank you for being here and being part of what makes this world, this cross-stitch world, so great. I will probably be doing some sort of giveaway in the near future to celebrate with you all. But I just bought a bunch of things on eBay, so I'm gonna wait for those to come in, and then we'll pick out some good giveaway stuff. Yeah, I've been buying a lot of things on eBay because I just sold a bunch of things. I went through all of my charts and pulled out all the things I know that I don't want to stitch, or things that my mom had given me to sell, and posted a lot of stuff on Stash Unloading on Facebook, not Stash Unload, which seems to be drama-filled. I have no idea. I'm part of Stash Unloading, cross-stitch only, and it's a nice little group. It's a bit smaller, but it's got some great people, great stuff. So I sold a bunch of things and earned myself a little eBay money, and then I spent it all. So next time I'll show you the things I bought. I'm pretty excited. What was I saying? Oh, let's talk sewing first. I did a sewing class at Viking. It was just kind of a meet your machine kind of class, but they have some free owners classes to teach you how to properly use your Viking sewing machine, which is very nice. So I went to my class like a week and a half ago, and it was so helpful. The girl teaching us was so very nice, and she was great. Like she didn't let us take ourselves too seriously. She was just joking and having fun along with us and making it really fun and easy and accessible, which was so nice. But it was just me and one other lady, And yeah, we learned all the parts of our machines. We learned how to do different stitches. We practiced on a lot of different types of fabric. We learned, I don't know, it was fun. They gave us like a little stack of fabric to practice with at home as well. So basically I've spent like the first week after that just kind of practicing things and not worrying too much about making things. I was just like practicing how to sew a straight seam, and that's about it. That's just the basics, the very basics. But I did go ahead and start making some gift bags because my plan for my sewing machine, well, my plan is to make all the things. But my other plan, or my evolving idea, as Vana likes to say, my evolving idea is that I will be making everyone in my family a little set of reusable gift bags for Christmas because my family takes stockings very seriously. I think I probably posted a picture of it on Instagram, but it doesn't fully capture it. Everyone's stocking is overflowing. You got the overflow bag on the floor for everybody, and stuff on the mantle, and stuff that just gets passed out during stocking time. It's very intense. And the legend is that if you don't bring something for everyone's stocking, you don't get your own stocking. So it's a very big deal. I don't think that's ever happened. Like maybe a couple of the younger cousins, but most of us are all like, we're grown and expected to bring something for everybody's stocking. So it's great. You get so much good stuff. And there's always one thing that's typically handmade. Oh, she got Post-it stuck on her. She's very irritated. She got it off. So there's always like one thing, and it's usually homemade, that like definitely wins stockings. Like this year, my cousin made paintings of photographs of my grandmother who passed away last year. So like that, obviously she won Christmas, hands down. So that will stay up there as like one of the best stocking gifts ever. But other years, like winners have been mugs from the local, oh, I guess that one isn't. They weren't from there. One of my cousins bought mugs and decorated them for each of us. So my mug had the phases of the moon on it with silver paint. I do love the moon. Things like that. So I don't know that reusable bags will win Christmas, but it will definitely put me in the top. Not that Christmas is a competition, but I would like to win. So I have been practicing a few gift bags. I found several great easy tutorials because the internet is so good. There's so much learning happening. So my sister's birthday is coming up next week, and I've been putting my scraps to great use, making my first few things. So I made a drawstring bag. Can't show you what's inside because she might watch this. Ta-da! I made also a felt bag. This is a little too small for what's in it, so I sewed it shut, but that was very easy and fun. And then I also made one that you're not really going to be able to see all that well. She already knows what's in here. It was a tote bag pattern, but I was too lazy to add the straps, so it's just a bag that I wrapped in ribbon. But I did not blind hems. I did French seams. Look at me. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of my first few bags. I'm definitely learning a lot. I am excited to make more of those because I think they will be great, and it gives me an excuse to buy lots of fabric, which I really enjoy. I also sometimes struggle with because I love color, but I'm not good at choosing color because I always pick neutrals because that's my preferred state of being. Like I'm always wearing gray and black. I don't own very much color, like a little bit of blue, a hint of red, a little bit of green. That's it. It's all black. So I definitely get overwhelmed quickly when I'm fabric shopping because there's so much, and it's all beautiful, but like, how do you pick one? So I gravitate towards the neutrals, and I'm learning to expand my reach. So I didn't bring my fabric out here, but I've gotten some nice some nice looking fabric, and I will be continuing to expand into buying color. Oh, I made a napkin. And yes, that is just a square of fabric that has been hemmed, but I thought that was a great idea because I love using real cloth napkins. And I don't have, I have like a couple sets, but I don't have any that I love. I just have ones that I've like happened to find for really cheap. And now I can pick a fabric and make my own. How did I live without a sewing machine? I have no idea. So anyway, I'm practicing and I am looking into what classes are available near me as well to learn more. What was I saying? I'm going to interrupt myself a lot. I'm super tired and somehow I don't even know what we've been talking about. I hope I haven't been repeating myself too much. I'm going to slow down and chill out. We're good. I'm going to turn you a little. Bear with me. Okay. Sewing, I also received the cutest little pin. It says Sewist. This is a gift from one of my friends who does a lot of knitting, and she was in a yarn store, and apparently this yarn store is expanding into carrying a bit more sewing and other craftiness, and she got me this pin. I can't decide if I want to make it into a needle minder or if I just want to wear it everywhere I go. So I got to figure that out, but I'm really excited about it because it's super cute. And I feel like it's like accurate now. That doesn't just say like Stitcher or something. It says Sewist because I can sew very slowly and poorly. I think more than anything, I need to get better at cutting fabric. I'm in general with my crafting and just everything I do, I am really careful about the first like 80%. And then I get close to the end and I'm kind of like, that's good enough. So it can get a little sloppy if I'm not careful. And I think that's definitely going to be true in my sewing because I will cut something out and most of it is great, but the last little bit is like very crooked. So I need to practice some more self-discipline and control in my crafting. It's fun. Okay, let's talk about cross stitching now. Because I have a lot of cross stitching to show you because we didn't show it last time. So I don't remember exactly what I shared with you like the beginning of January. So I'm just going to share with you whatever I pull out of this basket first. Starting with my Chalkboard Mandala. So I do need to move the Q-snap, so I'll take it out of the Q-snap. This is my piece that is closest to a finish, so I've been focusing on this and focusing on my gift for my dad, the eagle and flag. So I've mostly been working on those two projects with a couple other things sprinkled in. And I am almost done with this one. So this is Ink Circles Chalkboard Mandala. It's stitched on the called for slate fabric by Stephanie. And you can see I've got just a little chunk left. I have loved this piece because what I've been doing is I think you can see it down here. I'll do the bottom leg of a bunch of stitches. And then typically in the morning when I have my coffee, I really enjoy stitching, but I don't always feel like taking it out and having to like count and do things. So I can just go in and fill it in and cross them all. So that's been a really helpful revelation. I also just love having just one color, and I'm trying to decide what I want my next one color piece to be because I am a huge fan of having that in rotation. So yeah, I'll probably have this done in a couple days, and I already have a frame for it and a plan for where it's going to go on my wall. Let's jump over really quick to a thrift store purchase. No, it's too far away. We'll get to it at the end. But yeah, I have a plan for this, and I'm excited because I love it. Put it up here away from the cat. So that's Chalkboard Mandala. What else have we been working on? Well, we have mostly been working on Mr. Patriotic, which is not what I call my dad. But we've mostly been working on our eagle. That's the cat scared of a bag getting set on the floor. She's feeling feisty. Do you hear her? She's just like playing. Meow meow. I don't have any toys near me, so I was throwing a crumpled Post-it at her. She didn't appreciate it. I'll play with her later. Okay. Chill out, Abby. I'm also going to take this out of the Q-Snap for you because I just love you all that much. Scared the cat again. So this is American Pride by, I always forget, Cody's Country something. Look at that. Oh boy. It's so patriotic. Ta-da! So I have now finished 3 of the 6 pages, 2 of which have kind of the most stitching of any of them. 1 page is like just a little nubbin, so it doesn't really count. But I finished 2 of the heaviest stitched portions, and then I have 3 more sections that kind of maybe all together add up to like 1 full page or a little less. So I'm hoping to get this done. Maybe, like, what if I could get this done by the end of February? I don't know if that's possible, but I could get really close. This piece is a lot of fun to work on, but it is really big. It's bigger than I had pictured. And it, Q-Snap fell apart. It's a lot of confetti, which I kind of enjoy, but have to be in the right headspace for. So I think the pages I have left have a little bit less confetti. There's some more chunks of stitching that I can just outline and fill in. So I'm hoping it will go pretty quickly because I want to be done with this. I don't have to finish it super fast. Like, this was his Christmas present and Christmas is over. So like, I've already missed that deadline. There's not a lot of pressure on me. But I would like to have it finished before I go home over the summer, so I can give it to him then. And if I'm gonna, like, I might as well just get it done and then focus on the other things I want to stitch. It's a lot of fun to stitch, but I'm ready to be done. I'll put this away later too. So I've mostly been working on that eagle and the Chalkboard Mandala during my like quieter times, but I also have been working on my forest. Oh my goodness. Okay, first of all, my forest is in my moon bag because the moon and the trees. And there's not a moon in the pattern. Can you hear her? She's playing. But there's a lot of trees. So I'm stitching this 1/1 on 25 count, and I love it. I love it so much. I love stitching 1/1. I'm really enjoying it. It's so tiny and delicate and cute and pretty. But I've been just kind of waiting to work on it until my eagle is done because I don't have a great reason. I just really want to get that done, and then I can just focus on this a lot more. So it's going to be a nice size, but right now I just have this teeny tiny little corner done. That's like almost half of the first page. It's so cute. It's so pretty. I love it so much. It's so much fun. I am loving this needle minder as well. It's by Jen of Delicious Threads, and it's a little mini leaf, which is so perfect for my mini forest. Oh, I totally get, like, when you have a needle minder that the theme of the needle minder matches the theme of your project, like, oh, it's so great. It's so satisfying because on my eagle, my needle minder is Dumbledore. And he doesn't really have anything to do with patriotic America. But he's there. He kind of fit color-wise. He had the same blues. But I don't have anything patriotic, and I don't want to change that. I don't really care about patriotic decor or magnets. So what was I saying? I like when the needle minder matches. Got my tiny leaf. That was whatever. If you're stitching and a four screw, or if you would like to stitch and a four screw, we're using the hashtag and a four screw SAL. And it's been a real delight to watch everyone's come together, or people who have been working on it for a while but are bringing it out again. Who just finished hers? Dee finished hers, and she did a color conversion, and it is so beautiful. I'm planning on stitching mine with all the called for colors, but there are a couple colors that I think are going to kind of be washed out in this fabric, so I might tweak a little bit, but nothing crazy. So that's my forest. Like I said, I'm going to focus on the eagle, and then I'm going to work on the forest. My goal is to kind of keep up with a page a month, so I'm a full month behind on that, but there's room to catch up. And I also am still trying to decide what I want to use for the middle verse. You guys had a lot of great ideas in the last video where we talked about it. She's like yowling. I don't know what she's doing. She's just running back and forth across the apartment. Okay. Other things that I'm working on. Let's remember. Oh, I think those are my only active projects. But I was going to go ahead and kind of share with you, I'm having a lot of feelings about wanting to start all of the things and stitch on all of the things. And I know that's a common feeling. And I wanted to share with you kind of where I've landed with this. It's a twofold approach. I want to stitch on all the things that I have kitted up, which is like several things that I'm working on. But I also want to start a lot of things. And I have some other things kitted but not started. And I am afraid to start too many when I've got a couple really big projects going on. You get it. You live in this world. You know what I mean. But what I've kind of decided on is that I need something like Mania to just be able to like start all the things and then be able to work on what I want to do. But I have set myself a budget, and I have tied it to StitchCon because I'm going to StitchCon in June. Woohoo! I'm very excited. I'm a little nervous because there's so many people going, but that's also the benefit, is that like everyone's going, so I can meet all the people and hang out with you all. I'm mostly very excited. I want to be able to like feel fully enabled by everyone there and buy things that I see that I enjoy. So I've combined my stitching budget up till then with my spending budget while I'm there. So I've given myself a certain amount of money per month, and I can either use it for sewing and cross stitch stuff right now, or I can save it and use it at StitchCon, which is very appealing. So I'm trying to use that to kind of keep my spending under control because I'm very tempted by all the things. I'm in a very impulsive crafting hoarder mode right now, and I don't like it. That's not me. But I also do like it because it's fabric and it's fun, and it's just really great. I really am trying not to buy patterns, because I have got plenty of those. Yeah, I think it's a good budget move, because the more I save, the more I can spend at StitchCon, and not just, it's also like my vacation spending, because StitchCon lines up with when I will be home visiting my family, which was what made it extra appealing, because it was, one round trip flight instead of two separate round trip flights, which would have meant I probably would not have gone to StitchCon. But since it's in Cincinnati, that is a quick drive to my family, so someone gets to come pick me up from there. And yeah, the more I save up by not spending money on things I don't need and won't use yet, the more fun I can have on my vacation. So I'm excited about that. We're going to see how it goes. So far I'm failing, but it's only been 12 days since I started that. What else was I saying? Thanks for hanging with me while I figure this out. Okay, so I've got a stitching budget. I've got this thing of like, I do want to start lots and lots of things, but I'm not going to start lots and lots of things until after my holiday. So like July, I'll have like a mini mania and be able to start some new projects. So my goal is that between now and StitchCon, I can finish a lot of the things that I have in progress, because a lot of them are small projects that I could finish relatively quickly. Like the chalkboard piece has been just kind of sitting around, but then I make really quick progress when I do work on it. So I want to work on those things and not just think about them. I've been spending so much time just thinking and planning my stitching instead of actually stitching. Whatever. So I'm going to show you really quickly what some of those projects are. You've seen them before, but if you're new and you don't enjoy going back and watching old videos, I get you, and I'm here to show you what else I will be working on this year. This is kind of my 2018 plans, or my 2018 evolving ideas, to use Vanna's excellent terminology. This is my Brooks Books Advent Animal adaptation. So I am about 2/3 done, I'd say. I've got an animal and a half, plus some snow and the other border and holly. So that should be pretty quick once I'm ready to pull that out and work on it. I'm just going to make a huge mess. I also have my moon ladies. Oh, I'm not going to take it out of this hoop, but you can kind of see, look at them. So that's also very close to being done. I need to finish this lady, obviously, and then there's a row of moons at the bottom. There's text across the top, but I'm leaving that out. I have a spot where I'm going to hang this when it's done. I should be very motivated to do that, but I just want to stitch on all the things. Okay, not putting that away. I do have a new start that I haven't shown you yet, so let me show you. I am working on, let me get it out, crinkle, crinkle. I am working on Good Intentions. Kathy Barrick, a lovely viewer, sent this to me, and I love this piece. I'm doing a color conversion thanks to my sister, who gave me some floss colors in jewel tones. So there's my color choices, and this is what I have stitched so far. Let's see how we can do with it in plastic. I mean, there's not enough for me to show you to bother taking it out, so here you go. This is on a 36 count linen that I had on hand, and I don't know who it's by. I think the color is sand, if that means anything to you. It's nice. I still don't love linen. There's a couple really crazy looking spots that I'm gonna have to get serious about. But that's what I have so far. I need to find a good skin color for her. I'm gonna make her look like me, so she's gonna have dark hair and a top knot. I don't know if you can tell, probably not because the lighting's weird, but I got my hair dyed by Birdie. My roommate is in cosmetology school, and she is now cutting and doing hair in the school salon. So I got a haircut from her, and then we made my hair a couple shades darker. It's a demi-permanent, so it's already kind of starting to fade out a little bit. It's just a little deeper and richer than my natural color, and I really, really love it. So it will be a little darker next time, I think, and I'm going to change her hairstyle to match mine. So I'm excited for that. I have a ways to go on it. I think I put it down until I finished a couple other small pieces, but very excited for her. Just add to my pile. I also have, I haven't started this yet, but in this envelope I have my Crusted Headband that Samantha Crafting Between Stitches sent me, because I want to make that this year, sooner rather than later. I'm also going to be sewing some headbands. I can't wait. I used to wear headbands all the time. There was a solid year where I wore them every day. And then I got kind of sick of the ones I had, so I stopped wearing headbands, and I've been popping them on now and again, and I love wearing them. So another excuse to buy fabric. Okay, I also have my full coverage piece, Harry Potter. Yep, it goes like that. So that's Hogwarts at night with some boats on the lake. I'm just not feeling it, so I've not been working on it since like September or October. And we'll see if that changes. I really love the other half of the pattern because it has a giant moon, and I do love the moon. But I'm not opposed to kind of just finishing off a chunk and then calling it good. So we'll see. We'll see if I feel like doing more or not. This is a pattern by Stitchline on Etsy. I have another Harry Potter pattern from her as well that should be in this next envelope. Let's see if I'm right. I am! So this hasn't seen daylight for a while. This is a little Harry Potter sampler. Ta-da! It's cute. A lot of it should go pretty quickly. These motifs all go fast. They're not too complicated, and there's not very many colors. But again, just not really feeling it, and I know Harry Potter will always be there for me, so I'll come back to this when I feel ready. Let's talk for a second about the class schedule, SAL. I don't have mine here because I'm not doing it. I feel like a couple people mentioned this, but not really talked about it fully, and I would like to talk about it. So, bear with me. I can never get these things closed. Whatever. If you've been following anyone on Instagram who likes Harry Potter and cross-stitching, you've probably seen this class schedule, SAL. People were very, very excited about it. I was very excited about it. How can you go wrong with a monthly stitch-along in Harry Potter? Well, you can't go wrong with it. And I think it needs to be something that's talked about a little bit more explicitly because it's not a great pattern. And if you love it and you're stitching it, I'm happy for you, and I'm happy that it's fulfilling your desires. The patterns as charted are really empty, and there's not very much detail to them, and they're just really underwhelming, and I was really disappointed by that, as were many people. I'm part of a Facebook group, and people have been making really lovely modifications. I used some inspiration from that to change my pattern, so I changed the cat to look like Oscar Pepper and to look more like a cat. I added some magical outlines, so it was like transfiguration. This cat is a person. Magic. And that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed doing that for the first block. And then I got to the second block, and I had a plan for how I could improve it easily. And then a couple of very, very brilliant people on Facebook created lovely versions that were like a full potions classroom. So I started with my own idea, and I was like, well, I'll use their chart that they posted for this beautiful extra potion-y room. And then I just, decided not to. That's not really what I signed up for, and it makes me sad. So even with the modifications, I'm not excited about it, and I'm not going to do it. So if that's your story too, I would just encourage you to say it. I feel like people are being kind of nice about it, and it's just really, I think it's really disappointing. So if you're stitching it and you enjoy it as charted, I would love to hear what you're into about it, because I don't get it, but I'm curious because there are a lot of people who are stitching it as charted, and I would like to know more. I would like to know why. I think my other problem with it is that I don't like text in my decorating, and I'm leaving out, when I started, I knew I was going to leave out the names of the classes, but it makes it even emptier, so that's a problem. But I had an idea of doing a border with the spells or the class names. There's a lot of ways you can make that pattern really cool, but it's definitely it needs some assistance. Let's stop talking about it. Thank you to those of you who encouraged me to quit. Okay, back to more fun things. I think those were all of my whips. I have a sweatshirt in here that I still have plans to stitch, but haven't yet. Let me share with you a few other stitchy goodies that have come into my life. Where did I put them? So I've been sending out lots of Stitchy Penpal mail, and I got some very lovely cards in return, including some very lovely little gifts with them. You all don't have to send me anything for Penpal life, but I really appreciate this. So Helen, East Coast Crafter, sent me 2 needle minders. She asked me who my favorite Harry Potter character was, and I said Luna because she's the best, and she's Ravenclaw like me, and she stitched me a Luna needle minder. Do you see that? What in the world? She's even, so you can correct me, Helen, but I've decided those are her radish earrings. They could also just be like hair bows, but they're her earrings, right? And then she sent a Dumbledore's Army needle minder as well. So cute. Thank you so much. And then Amy Loves Toads. Amy, who just started making videos, and she's adorable and awesome. You should definitely go check her out. Those are going to be my 2 shout-outs for this week because they're both delightful. And they're just fascinating to talk with. Or, Flosstube with, but also to talk with via letter. She sent me a little cat. Amy sent me a cat, and she has the cutest stationery. Little chipmunks and strawberries and mushrooms. I thought that was so cute. So thank you so much. That's my first cat needle minder, and I feel like that's a really... No, it's not. Oh, sorry. It's my second. I bought myself one. It's a cat needle minder, and I'm very happy about it. So thank you so much, Amy and Helen. I moved my mail day. I've been doing a lot of my Flosstube and just life Penpal stuff in waves. So I've got like a rotation of cards and things to send. But you all are in my queue as well. So thank you so much. So nice. You all are just so nice. I love Flosstube. I thought this was going to be a quick update and not so chatty, but look at us. We're so chatty. I can't stop. I think that almost brings me to the end of what I have to tell you about. So I'm going to tell you about a book that I've been loving and a thrift store find. Which one do you want to do first? We'll do the thrift store find. I was at Goodwill dropping some things off and waiting for my haircut by Birdie, and I was just kind of browsing around. I wasn't really I don't love thrift shopping, and Goodwills especially are often so disorganized. I can't handle it. But I do always go to look for forks because our office forks constantly go missing, and people bring out this giant tub of plastic forks, and I'm vehemently against it because we have a dishwasher and a sink, and most people eat at their desks. They could just use a real fork, and they don't. It drives me crazy. But partly it's because there aren't very many forks. So that was all to say, I'm constantly buying forks at thrift stores to take to the office. And this Goodwill had 50,000 knives, a handful of spoons, and no forks. But I just kept on browsing, and this is a Goodwill that is kind of further away from me, and I've never been there before, but I will go back again because there was a lot of great stuff. I saw this mailbox. First of all, it's gray. Second, it's a little chippy, and I think that's adorable. Third, it was only $3. And fourth, I'm putting my mail in it. Right? I thought that was the coolest idea I've ever had. These newspaper holder things do pull all the way down, and I was thinking in the future I might hang some cross stitch under that, like some seasonal stitching, do some wall hangings that can fit under this. I'm very excited for what that might be. For now, it's going to be like this. But I was thinking this would look so good with... Oh, I put it up here so I wouldn't lose it. I'm going to hang my chalkboard above it. Right? Gray and gray. Pretty. Happy. Very excited. I've been going back and forth on where I was going to hang it in my room, but I think I've settled. It's going to be kind of in a corner with the corner of my bookshelf has been moved to. And that's also where my stationery stuff is on that bookshelf. So it seems appropriate that it can be together over there. So I definitely need to give myself a little bit more patience for thrift stores because it's very fun. But also that comes out of my stitching budget. So I'm not going to thrift stores that often. I'm not. One last thing. Let's talk about a book. This is a book that I got through Book of the Month Club, which if you are not familiar, it's a really great subscription service. I have been a member off and on for like a year and a bit. I think your first book you can get for $5 or your first 3 months for $10 each. Or they have a lot of different promotions and stuff. So I signed up to get, I forget what book it was, but let me back up. Book of the Month is a subscription service. You pay per month. If you buy more months at a time, you can, get better deals, I think. Actually, they might have changed some of their pricing models. But every month they select 5 books. Typically, they're books that have been recently released or are about to be released. And they cover a wide variety of genres. So they have usually like at least one nonfiction, one thriller, one historical. You get a good variety. And so you get to read descriptions and the judges' comments for each book and choose which one you want. And you can add on other books from that month or previous months or just other companion books. So they often will have some additional books every month that are sometimes like older, they've been around for a while, or sometimes new books will be in that add-on section. They're like $10 for every book you add. Again, I don't remember the pricing because I haven't used it for a little while. I got my first book for $5. I did the classic forgetting to cancel, but was I really trying that hard to remember? So I got another 3 months, and then I canceled my membership. You can also skip months if there's a book that you don't want. But I canceled my membership for a while, and then they got me in with, you pay for 3 months, we'll give you two extra books for free. And I was like, well, okay. So anyway, it's a really good service. They have really great books. It can be a little, a bit of a risk because they're often all the books are new, so you might not have as great a sense of whether or not you think that book is for you. I have a couple people whose book tastes I know I mesh with very well. So if I see that they are loving a book on Goodreads or their blog or whatever, then I will pick that up. I have read a couple duds through Book of the Month, but I've also read some great ones, including Sourdough by Robin Sloane. This is the same author as Mr. Penumbra's 24-Hour Bookstore, which came out a few years ago, and it's a delightful read if you like books. They're both set in San Francisco, and they're both almost normal stories, but with a little bit of extra. I wouldn't call it magical realism, but it probably is. I can't tell you what it is, but there's just a little hint of this isn't quite normal life, but it's so close. This is a girl who works in the tech industry, and then she meets, let me see how much is on the flap because I don't want to give too much. Yeah, okay. So she meets these brothers who are selling food, including sourdough bread. So she's got her new favorite hole in the wall place, and then they have to leave, but they give her their sourdough starter, and she starts baking bread, and then it goes on a wild ride through the farmers markets of San Francisco. It is such a delight. It's really, really fun. It's fun, especially to be in the Bay Area. I feel like it depicts the Bay Area really well. There's an Alice Waters-esque character in here. It's just really fun. So if you like foodish books and city-ish books, I don't know what that means, but if so, you'll like this one. I had to buy sourdough bread yesterday because I couldn't read any more of this book without eating sourdough bread. It's great. It's a lot of fun. I'm halfway through. It's a delight. I will put a link for Book of the Month club below. It is a referral link, so if you sign up, then I think I get like a free book or something. I'm just going to tell you that because, not because I want you to use it and get me a free book, but I want to be honest with you that that's a thing that would happen. Also, if you have a friend in your life who uses Book of the Month Club, ask them for their referral link because it's a pretty sweet deal. And don't feel pressured, but there are lots of great promotions in the world, and they'll sometimes do free things. Like there was one month where no matter what book you picked, you also got a copy of the new Paula Hawkins book, In the Water, which was like a big summer book this year. You got it for free. So you got 2 new hardback books for $15, which is pretty great. What else do they do? I got like a luggage tag for free, a magnet, a tote bag. There's some good stuff. So check it out if you love books and you want to read nice new modern stuff but don't want to pay full hardback prices. They're a great option. I'm going to stop pitching it to you now. It's a great book. I've also been reading the illustrated Prisoner of Azkaban, and that thing is beautiful. It's meant that I'm reading kind of slowly because it's really heavy, so I only read it when I'm like ready to be sitting up on the couch with a supported book. You can't like read that when you're falling asleep because it would give you a concussion. I fall asleep with books on my face all the time, but that's how I prefer to go to bed. So yeah, I'm doing that. I'm still reading them in reverse. It's pretty interesting. It was better, or it was like more revealing in the latter half of the series. So as we're getting earlier and earlier, not quite as much as jumping out at me as like, oh, that's so cool how she set that up. But it's still interesting. So if you're a big Harry Potter fan, try it out. You never know. And yeah, I think that's it. I need to go eat some dinner, so we're going to go. I'm going to upload this. I'm going to add closed captions. I forgot to talk about this a couple videos ago when I was talking about silent stitches. I'll put a link to their channel below. But I was really excited to tell you about them, but I forgot to say also to help them out and also any other cross-stitchers who are deaf or also just maybe don't speak English as their first language, captions are very, very helpful. So I encourage you to look into adding those to your videos. It is a little bit of extra work, but I think it's worth it, and I think it's important. So I'm going to be, all but one of my videos, maybe 1.5, are captioned. And yeah, it's really easy. If you have questions about it, please let me know. I'm probably not going to be any help for the tech side, but there are tutorials. And thank you in advance for making your video more accessible to those of you who are able to do so. I hope you have a great February. My plans for February: finish Chalkboard Mandala, see how much I can get done of the eagle. Maybe finish 2 of the 3 pages I have left for the eagle. That sounds like almost reasonable. It's kind of a good Olympic stitching piece because I have to be looking at it a lot, but I can also look up for Olympics. I've been loving the ice dancing. Oh my goodness, did you watch the short programs or the team or whatever it was? I don't remember all the different types of things, but the couples ice dancing in the team round, it was beautiful. It was so gorgeous. All the like flips and not flips. Whew, that would be fun. All of the jumps and spins and all that are great too, but there's something so beautiful about the ice dancing and how well choreographed it is to the music and how fluid everything is. It's like ballet on ice. Oh, I will never get over it. It's absolutely stunning. I'm going to go watch some, hopefully, figure skating right now. I'll see you all later. Have a great, great stitchy month, and I'll catch you in a couple weeks. Bye!